This is the documentary interview on one of the biggest topics today, the economy. Sir, can you state your name for the viewers and what is your profession?
My name is Roynell Reese, and my profession, I'm a stockbroker.
How do you feel about where America is today as far as our economy is concerned?
My feelings towards the economy in America today is it's a downslope, really, really a downslope.
Can you give us an example of that downslope that you're talking about?
Well, for one, a good example of the downslope is the decrease in the job market today. It fluctuates and it's not staying at a steady pace.
How has the economy affected your household in this time?
The economy has affected my household in a devastating way. As far as now, groceries, all the things that I needed to operate, everything has got more expensive.
Can you give us an example of some of the things that have got more expensive than what you've spent in the past couple of years?
I have a great example for you. Food. Food is outrageous now. The pricing on food is like it's triple. So that's going to affect any household, mine's especially.
How was life before this economy, inflation, and where are we going now as far as you're concerned?
Well, life was great. Everything was up to par. The economy was booming. The job market, the work atmosphere was wonderful. Once the pandemic hit, everything just went belly up overnight.
What will help Americans maneuver in the current economic status?
With my personal thoughts, as far as America maneuvering the economy, I think that the government, the government of the United States, I think that instead of these lawmakers passing all these bills and people talking about, but there's no action. So to help the economy out, it has to be mass production of jobs being created.
Can you give us an example, or what would you say that, in your opinion, what needs to be done? Like, how can that plan be implemented for Americans?
In my opinion, my personal opinion, I think that the lawmakers, the Senate, the Democrats and the Republicans, I think they need to come together and agree and pass a bill instead of one opposing and the other. Nothing ever gets done.
How has the economy affected you mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually?
Can I give you a little bit of all of them? And the reason why I say that is because the economy has affected me spiritually because of my thought as far as me, me praying and me fasting and because now I'm working longer hours to make up from where the economy, you got to do more to survive now. You're making less money, but everything is still the same price. So the economy has affected me greatly, spiritually, emotionally, is emotionally tiresome because I know I got to work extra hours that I would normally not have to work. So that's why I said a little bit in all ways that the economy is affecting me. My body, when I'm emotionally tired, then my body gets physically tired. So it's all one just big runabout.
Has your job been able to pull the weight in the economy, inflation? Why or why not?
Well, honestly, I think that my job will they couldn't adjust fast enough to as far as the inflation and the weight of it, of the mass of the inflation, the weight of it, because the pandemic came from out of nowhere, so nobody was prepared for it. So everything is inflated. So to try to keep this country balanced, basically, what I'm saying, because I don't think that my company will ever adjust. I think that they're maintaining, but I don't think that they will ever adjust as far as inflation, as far as the inflation of the economy. I think everybody's being affected by that all over the world. I know personally I am.
On February the 1st of this year, the U.S. Treasury Department reported that the U.S. gross national debt have grown about 30 trillion. How do you think that this will affect you?
I think that if it's that much debt that has been reported, it would affect anybody. Me personally, like I said, it could go to gas, it can go to personal items at the store. I mean, food, like I said, is outrageous. A bag of chicken used to be $10, now it's 18. So I can't really say that uh, that the inflation or the weight of my job would ever even recover. I don't think they can adjust, to be honest.
Are there any circumstances, or do you feel like is there anything that is impacting the economy state? And you can just give me a general, you know, a general idea of what you feel is impacting us.
Can you repeat that question?
Can you like give us a example of what may be the cause of the inflation? Like, do you feel maybe it is the homelessness? Is it the crime? Is it, what do you feel is the most impactful when it comes to why the inflation happened? Do you think it was solely because of the pandemic? And can you kind of elaborate on that? Because we want to get just a general feel of how you feel this situation may have been created as a person.
I definitely think that the pandemic has impacted as far as inflation today. One great example I would use personally myself is foreign trade. Once the pandemic hit and the transportation industry went down, people's being safer, foreign trade, everything got higher. So that impact there, it's going to affect me and everybody else all over the world because, what do we deal with? We deal with commodities. commodity runs the world. Commodity runs the stock market. So, you know, and I think that to help improve the situation, as I stated earlier, I think that lawmakers need to really get together and agree upon something. That means the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. The House of Representatives, they need to do their. I'm not saying that a person doesn't do their job, but I'm saying that I think everybody need to be on one accord. That's my personal opinion, or my personal views on the situation as far as the impact of how has the pandemic impacted inflation in this country today. Crazy.
Mr. Reese, within the community, how can local organizations or the local government help the citizens in the community at the time of the economy's inflation?
My honest opinion on how the government can help the community as far as the inflation, cut taxes. Honestly, I mean, everything has went up more than $1, and I think that it's good that they went that the pay rate changed from that the minimum wage changed from where it currently was. That they had a lot to do with the economy too. As far as helping the community, I think that they need to bring something for the city and as far as something for the community also, so that it would have a marvelous impact on the community. And that would help inflation. I mean, I can't even say what they would even do. Inflation, it would still be there, but it would ease the pain some. I feel as though that I think to help a community and a community is one unit. It has to be some structure as far as the government or local officials getting together and calling a meeting and sitting down and seeing what needs to be done. If you're on one accord, then I think that makes it a lot easier to transition into getting something done.
Okay, do you have kids, Mr. Reese, and are you putting them through college at this time during the economy
Yes,
inflation?
Yes, I do have kids, but right now, currently, I'm not putting anyone through college. At the moment when my daughter went to college, the economy everything was on track. The dollar was up, the yen was down. The value of the U.S. dollar was worth something. Now the value of the U.S. dollar doesn't really equivalent. I mean, doesn't really. What word can I say? Doesn't really measure, up to what it was back in that current day when my daughter was going to college. At current time, let me say rather, because now it's more programs and more opportunities being created to go to school now. So but like I said, the pandemic, it came from out of nowhere. It really took the world by surprise. So everything was affected. So thank God right now, currently I'm not putting anybody through college. At the time when I was, everything was normal. The stock market was operating normally. Trades was being transacted. Everything was running smoothly as far as the economy in the U.S.
Okay, now marriages have always kind of been at a battle when we talk about statistics in the US. How do you feel families may be feeling it like as far as love goes? Do you think the economy can have a pressure on love?
Well, yeah, I think the economy it affects a lot of areas, and love is like one of the most things because when the finances are not right, it comes tension, and when there's tension, there's no love, it's stress. So the economy can affect that in more than one area. I feel as though tensions and sometimes you know your bills are more than what you make, and it's because of the state of the economy, and it's really it can affect your relationship if you don't have God. So I'm a firm believer in that. So I just think that once things are running smoothly, everything is smoothly. You'll have your bumps in the road here and there, but it can affect love. It can affect your mental state. It can affect your emotional state. So, same thing. The impact on the world has been devastating. From so many. We're speaking upon the economy and how it impact community, how it has impacted the world. You know, we lost so many souls and so many lives, during this pandemic, during this corona, during this Delta, you know, and nobody is speaking upon the many lives have been lost, more than that's being reported, in my personal opinion. So, you know.
Do you think that we can come out of the crisis in the economy before December 2022?
Honestly, no, I don't think we can come out of this before December, because let me just state this. To me, my personal opinion, nothing is getting better. It's getting worse. We have a president, and I don't want to speak upon it, but it's my personal opinion that I think he's been anti-war all the time. I don't know if it's about saving the country or is it about I just don't see any change in America. I don't see it in 3 months. Now we went from overnight from being a normal running functioning financial economical machine to a car that you got to change your timing belt. I like to use scenarios, so scenarios example is the same thing to me. So honestly, like I said, people, the world itself don't. I don't want to speak on people. Let me rephrase that. The world itself, and me being an individual in this world, these are my views upon how I see that the economy has been affected, how the COVID has devastated the country, and once it needs repairing, and right now, in this current time and matter, it's a war going on in Ukraine with Russia, and the pandemic. You know, when will it ever end?
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Reese. I got one more question for you. What keeps you moving day to day? If it was a saying that you said to yourself every day, what is that saying that gets you up, gets you ready, and just motivates you to create, wealth for you and your family?
Well,
Something that we all can take away, but it's personal to you.
well, I I'm happy that you asked me that question because I got a gift for you and many more viewers or listeners that might tune in to hear this conversation or this interview. I have a saying that no matter how rough it get, as I stated earlier. Excuse me, let me go back. As I stated earlier that my faith in God first is what motivates me and what gets me through it. And one saying that I always have, and I want you to document this, Miss Raybon. Like I said, it's gonna be all over everything. And my saying is, I ain't worrying about nothing. God got it. That's my energy. That's my fuel. That's my belief. That's my faith. That's my testimony.
Thank you, Mr. Reese.
You're
And
very
this
welcome.
will
Thank you.
include our interview with Mr. Reese. And this is the documentary interview on one of the biggest topics today, the economy. I'm your host, Jennifer Ann Raybon. Until next time.